David and Goliath, a tale of courage and faith. The sun blazed high over the valley of Elah, casting long shadows over two opposing armies. On one side stood the Israelites, their ranks tense and fearful. Across from them, the Philistines stood firm, emboldened by their mightiest warrior, Goliath of Gath. Goliath was a giant, standing nearly 10 feet tall, clad in bronze armor that glinted under the midday sun. His voice, deep as thunder, echoed across the valley as he taunted the Israelites. "Why do you come out to line up for battle?" he roared. "Am I not a Philistine, and are you not servants of Saul? Choose a man to fight me. If he can kill me, we will be your servants. But if I prevail, you will be ours." For 40 days, Goliath issued his challenge, and for 40 days, no Israelite dared to step forward. Even King Saul, once a mighty warrior, felt his courage wane before the sight of the monstrous Philistine. Fear spread like a plague through the camp. The shepherd boy arrives. David, the youngest son of Jesse, was not a soldier, but a shepherd. While his older brothers, Eliab, Abinadab, and Shammah, served in Saul's army, David remained at home, tending his father's sheep in Bethlehem. But one day, Jesse sent him to the battlefield with provisions for his brothers and to bring back news of the war. As David arrived at the camp, he heard Goliath's booming voice once again. He watched as the Israelite soldiers shrank back, whispering among themselves about the champion no one dared face. "Who is this Philistine?" David asked, his brow furrowing, "that he should defy the armies of the living God?" His words reached the ears of King Saul, who summoned the boy to his tent. David stood before the king, his youthful face resolute. "Let no man's heart fail because of him," David said. "Your servant will go and fight this Philistine." Saul looked at David with disbelief. "You are but a boy," he said. "He has been a warrior since his youth." David lifted his chin. "I have fought lions and bears while tending my father's sheep. When they attacked, I struck them down. The Lord, who delivered me from them, will deliver me from this Philistine." Seeing the conviction in the boy's eyes, Saul relented. He offered David his own armor, but the weight was too great, and David removed it. Instead, he took his staff, his sling, and chose 5 smooth stones from a nearby. The battle begins. As David stepped onto the battlefield, Goliath sneered. "Am I a dog that you come at me with sticks?" he scoffed, seeing David's lack of armor. "Come to me, and I will give your flesh to the birds of the air and the beasts of the field." David, undeterred, stood his ground. "You come to me with sword and spear, but I come in the name of the Lord Almighty. Today, he will deliver you into my hand, and all the earth will know that there is a God in Israel." Goliath, infuriated, moved forward, raising his enormous spear. But David was faster. He reached into his pouch, took a stone, and placed it in his sling. He swung it with practiced precision, letting it fly. The stone struck Goliath square in the forehead. The impact was immediate. His massive body staggered, then collapsed with a thunderous crash. Silence fell across the battlefield. For a moment, neither army moved, stunned by what had just transpired. Then, a roar erupted from the Israelite camp. David ran forward, seized Goliath's own sword, and with a single stroke, ended the giant's reign of terror. Victory and a new future. Seeing their champion defeated, the Philistines turned and fled, with the Israelites chasing them in triumph. David returned to Saul's tent, still holding Goliath's massive head. The king marveled at the boy. "Whose son are you, young man?" "I am David, son of Jesse of Bethlehem," he replied. From that day on, David's life changed forever. No longer was he just a shepherd. He had become the hero of Israel, the man who had slain the giant with nothing but faith and a stone. And thus, the legend of David and Goliath was born, a testament to courage, faith, and the belief that even the smallest among us can overcome the greatest of obstacles.